Hi. Hi. It's Cattails for Luck, or whatever you want to call me. Junks. Who cares? I wanted to give a little update video for everyone. This is my second take. I feel like I'm meandering a little too much, but anyways, here we go. So, quick update. Very burnt out. Incredibly burnt out. But not necessarily in the realms of music. I am still making tracks and have formulated a track list. The order is, I don't know what the order is going to be, but I think I have enough for an album. I don't know yet, but there have been a lot of work in progress, tracks that I still haven't finished. And there's also a lot of overdubs and just reworks I've been wanting to do with my album ever since I first started making various songs. I will tell you a few of the songs. Um, I will tell you a few of the songs that I've been working on. One is called American Spirit Gold. Of course, it's named off of the cigarette brand because I'm a doofus. I have been doing a lot with art, so I really wanted to talk and give an actual update video because I this is a form of an update that I'm going to be doing videos like this. Yeah, I'm going to be talking in front of a fucking camera. I'm going to be one of those talking fucks. I hope you are really excited for that. Well, for me, I want to do this for myself. I want to be able to talk through creative processes, why I'm doing the things I'm doing, why this room looks like a fucking mess, and why there's a bass right over there. Why there's a bass behind me, of course, and another bass behind me. Um, I want to explain what I've been doing with the albums, how I sample, why I sample, the things I sample, blah, 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 blah. And I've been wanting to talk about what I've been doing with myself these past couple of months. So what have I been doing these past couple of months other than going through a lot of changes? I'm going through a lot of changes with myself, specifically in the realms of I I think I've learned quite a few lessons. Um, Starting with very non-specific, but I'm not going to mention it too much. I had something totally collapse, and I am not going to be blaming myself for it because fuck that. Why would I blame myself for something that is clearly two people's fault, myself included? Second off, I am getting a little bit more bitter and cynical. I've been very burnt out as of late, and honestly, that could tie into music as a whole. I've been very burnt out of music. I've been very burnt out of a lot of things. So, in my eyes, if I'm going to release this album, I'm going to do it outside of burnout, but burnout has been very consistent and it's been over these past 3 months. Another thing is what I've been doing with myself. Uh, I went to a wedding. I went places. My brother recently visited. I was thinking about putting that on the Cattails Bandcamp, but honestly, I don't know. I still have to actually remaster. Well, not really remaster, but mix and at least do something that's a little bit better than what the what the tracks sound like as of right now. They sound pretty good, but in my eyes, they could do a little bit better. So that is what I've been planning. I've also been trying to utilize another amplifier. Again, I got a lot of music stuff for some reason, and yeah, it's kind of a curse where you buy a little bit too much stuff. So I wanted to lead into that. They always say less is more, and for me, I really do agree. My friend is very much into getting as much gear as he does for his creative processes. For me, I've been using the same guitars, the same basses, and not really anything. I don't really use a mixer. I mix primarily on Ableton. All my effects are stock on Ableton. And a lot of that just comes from I know what I'm going to do with those tools, and I might utilize them for something a little bit better than if I had new equipment to learn and something like that. Speaking of which, I got a looper pedal. I've been thinking about a looper pedal for a little bit, but that is mainly for a idea that is so far into the future I can't even describe. I've been wanting to make a band with my friend for a very long time, and that will, in my eyes, require a looper pedal. Another thing is, I I don't know. I I've been staring at Ableton thinking about what am I gonna do? Oh, there's this thing I could sample, but as soon as I get home from work, I'm immediately locked out. I went from locking in to geeking out in 2 seconds, and that has definitely affected a lot of my life. It's been a lot of anger and over encompassing anger and more anger, and I want to tell this directly to a camera that uh, yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed about a lot of things. But I don't think there really is a cause anymore. And for me, I think I'm slowly learning that, slowly, very slowly, that I don't think anger is primarily worth it for the music. For me, this one song that I've mentioned, is called American Spirit Gold. And that song is probably what I would consider the most reworked track, and I wanted to kind of encompass the feeling of what it's like to have an American Spirit Gold, which, admittedly, I kind of want one right now. No, I really do want one right now, but it doesn't matter. Um, what else? I have also been thinking about there's a lot to life, and I don't think that life is worth living in complete anger and making yourself stuck in situations that you don't want to be in, where you're constantly paranoid and there really isn't much that you think is going on for you. But the in my eyes, and I've heard this before, that anger is a gift. I've written I didn't make up the fucking phrase anger is a gift, but I always thought that anger is a gift, depression is a tool, desperation is, I mean, depression has always been a tool for me. It is a way to really say what it's just in my music. Depression, melancholy, feelings that drives a lot of what I do. And if I don't have that kind of drive with melancholy songs than I do with anger songs, with angry songs. There's another song I've been working on. It's called Murdering God. Kind of proud of that one. But again, I want to explain my process. I don't write lyrics down. Yeah, that's not very unbelievable, is it? A lot of nearly every single lyric on Cattails for Luck has not really been written down at all. And I intend to kind of keep it that way. Because one, I don't think I'm performing these songs live, and two, I just don't really write lyrics. I never thought I was that good at it. I like writing poems, but shit, man, if I can write good lyrics, I would. If I could write a Neil Young song, I think I would. But I really I want to improvise a lot of things, but there are some riffs that are stuck in my fucking head for weeks, and I need to get them out. I need to put them on a piece of paper. Uh, American Spirit Gold is actually one of them. The guitar riff, the bass riff actually has a hook on it that I stole from a song. I like it, and it fits in the key, so whatever. But there's a lot of ideas that I have that are persistent in my head for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I can't get them out. And that also reminds me of a really funny story about Brian Wilson. And no, I'm not doing this to compare myself to that guy. That guy is untouchable. I love that guy. But he had this song stuck in his head for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and he would perform it every fucking day. He would do the same song every day in the studio. And I always thought that was a weird little thing. It also reminds me of the David Lynch quote. Losing a good idea is like fucking killing yourself. Okay, I put the fucking in there, but losing a good idea makes you want to kill yourself. I've taken that to heart. There's this one pop song I wrote, or just a little song I wrote, and it had a cool idea, and I thought this was it. I was finally going to do something cool, at least that I like. And then I lost the project files because I didn't collect all and save. And that idea is gone, and that idea still haunts me. I don't even remember the chords or anything. I just remember sounded cool. I want to put in an idea. There's this riff that has been stuck in my fucking head, and it's still stuck in my head, and it has been for a very long time. It's I've been wanting to write it down as a breakdown for a song, but the problem is it's a polyrhythm breakdown, and I just don't know where to put it. It feels like a black sheep of a riff, and I don't really know where to put it. And I keep saying the same thing over and over again. God, fuck me. But why I say this all for art is because if you have a good idea, you need to write it down. You need to document it. You need to archive it as best as you possibly can, because if you don't archive it, I will assure you that a lot of things will be lost. There have been so many fucking songs I have just completely gutted because I had the idea. Nope, not good enough. I need to gut that song. I've gutted so many fucking songs. Just to make ones that I think I would be a little bit more satisfied with. And it's been difficult to get one riff that is a singular dumbass idea, and it's a pretty simple idea, but it is incredibly difficult for me to even put on there, and it sucks. It really does suck. But keep those ideas in your head. Keep those ideas somehow. Keep playing those riffs. Be like Brian Wilson. You just keep playing the same shit over and over again for the fucking millionth time. And I think that if you have an idea like that, then it's an idea worth sharing. I don't care. There has always been a negative connotation around the word amateur. For what I've been thinking recently is that with amateurs, they do what they do not because they are complete experts or professionals at it. It is because they love what they're doing. I consider myself quite a fucking amateur with music. I consider myself such an amateur, but I'm growing continuously with multiple albums. There are a lot of albums on that Cattails website. There are too many albums, in my opinion. In fact, I've deleted a few, and there's still like 70. There's still 60 something last time I checked. And the reason I keep those is because I wanted to see the chronological change between me starting out in a college basement, writing, basically making a riff and just singing over it. Not well, but I was singing over it. And then there was a little progression in an album called Trapped Under Ice. And I thought that was going to be it. That was going to be my entire music idea. And then I got Ableton, and that really changed a lot of things. Now that I have an actual DAW that isn't fucking something like FL Studio, I'm sorry to all the people that use FL Studio. I don't really regret my words, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent about FL Studio. I really want to. I really want to talk about it's just a bunch of flashing lights. It's Cocomelon as a DAW. But I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the FL Studio people, all the FL heads. But what I've been saying is after that, I've been really trying to progress in what I wanted to do as trip hop, or whatever my dumbass thought. I just wanted to make beats, and those beats turn into songs, and then those songs turn into albums, and then whoop-de-doo, I have like 60 of them. I used to, well, here's a little fun fact about Cattails, is I used to release an album every 2 weeks, and it turned into every month, and now it's every 3 or 4 months. And I have no deadline for this album. I will officially proclamate a deadline when I am just able to. When I am officially ready to confidently say that I have a deadline, then I will release it on said deadline. And I do not want to deviate from that, which means I need things to be ready before said deadline, which means I need to get off of my ass for once and make something. And that's another thing I wanted to say is I was going to do a little guitar improv for the first take, and second take I went fuck it. But there's even something I could learn from guitar improv. Noodle around on your instruments, man. Do something. Just make a song. Because for me, the hardest part is wanting to formulate an idea into a complete package. And for me, it's a very difficult road. Um, and I think a lot of ideas just stem from improvisation. So I actually do have an idea of what to do with a song as soon as possible, as soon as I know, okay, this is something I could do, and then I make the riffs up on the fly, and boom, that's an entire song. Sometimes they take, and songs sometimes take minutes, and sometimes they take hours. But I think the most important part of art, the essential part, is that it's not what your audience, well, it could be what your audience thinks, but it's also, you're making the art for you. You are taking the steps and buying the fucking equipment and doing whatever you want to do for said music. And for me, whenever I make something and I listen to it, I obsessively listen to it because I want to be able to be proud of something that I've made. I haven't really been proud of things I've been making. Never was. I don't think it will be a never will be though. But in my time, there are songs that I'm particularly proud of, but they're mainly loops, and I wanted to make the music that I wanted to for me. And that's the main point that I want to accentuate is that these ideas stick in your head because they're your ideas. Don't try to steal them from somebody else. Don't try to water down your message for somebody else. Don't do that. Don't ever do that, because the minute you start acting fucking boring and you get a lot of accolades for it is the minute you don't become an artist. You become a cockroach. And there are a lot of cockroaches in this world, believe me, very successful cockroaches. And I think that dishonesty is one of the best ways to get money, get paid. But in my eyes, honesty never really gives you money, but it gives you satisfaction. So every single song that I've made is not a filler song. Every single song that I've made has been thought out in my head billions of times. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I like it. I like what I make sometimes. And I think that's a very important part of what you do. And honestly, doing things for other people is another reason why you should draw, you should make music, you should do this. Because if you have the ability to motivate to keep going for the good of someone else, I think that's honestly a really good motivator. My friend, named Pug Studio 48, you can check her out on Instagram. She makes she makes a lot of art, and she makes art for me, she makes art for other friends, and it's wonderful. I think it's actually really wonderful. I don't really get fan art, but when I do, whenever somebody draws for me, it could be anyone, I take that to heart. I save it on my phone, or I just keep looking at it because it means a lot. I think those things really do mean a lot. And don't treat that, and don't take that as just a compliment. This is something somebody drew for you. This is something somebody was really into your stuff. And the best comments, nah, I shouldn't say best. All compliments are very valuable. But I think the ones that mean so dearly to me are ones that say, I felt this way. I know it's intentional. It sounds like this. It makes sense for you to make that music. Those kind of compliments just mean so much to me. And I think that is not the main motivator of art or music, but god damn does it feel good. God damn. Because I think the worst thing you could give art is one, fake answer, two, despondence. You don't want to give art despondence, no matter if it's a fucking stupid banana taped onto a wall or one of the greatest sculptures ever conceived by man. You shouldn't give all art despondence. You should at least try to find something and find things that you could improve on. I knew somebody that I wanted to I gave accolades, but I wanted them to improve on art, and they simply did not want anything to do with that. They wanted me to just compliment. And that does not, I don't think that that means someone is a true artist if they're not taking that sort of criticism. And not, you don't have to take it to heart, but it's something that people will say. And if you consider those improvements, you are considering them. And make sure to be not despondent about it, because as an artist, I think it's incredibly important. It's about humans, it's about people. Even if you make some fiction, you make your own OC, there are still people that are going to say, "Hey, the hands, they don't look too good." I'm on a server with a bunch of really good artists, and I love their work. I am not myself an artist or a person that draws. I sometimes doodle, but that's not where my passion lies. But the ability to see other people go, this is something you could improve on, and that person goes, okay, does it work like this? And they go, okay, well it doesn't. Here's another way it could work out, and they keep trying until it actually works out. And I think that is the most wonderful thing about art. It's a constant improvement, and not just improvement, your ability to convey a message. And I always thought that that was one of the greatest things you could do with art. Anyways, I'm sorry for the long talk, and the main reason I wanted to give this talk was to give an update. So in summary, I have not been doing well, but there will be an album coming, and I do have an idea for said album name. I have an idea of what it's going to be about. It's not really a concept album, but it's got the same unrelenting themes that I have been really wanting to convey for the past 3 or 4 months. That I have been pretty non pretty non-responsive to basically anything on social media. I haven't been releasing singles or anything or talking about it, so I'm really glad for all the people that follow me, that still follow me, that are looking forward to what I make, because that means more than the world to me. Something that was just me playing guitar and singing on a stupid phone, and or just put it on Audacity, has turned into something that I for myself am satisfied with and proud of, and I'm happy with what I've made, and I'm happy that other people feel always saying, "Oh, I love this part," or something like that. Or there have been projects I do for other people. There's this sound design project I did for my friend, and it's a lot of fun. I love doing things for other people, and I just, again, but you don't make art for them. It's a nice way to help other people, and it's really nice. It feels great. But make the art for you, and do not ever let go of that good idea, because it makes you want to kill yourself. And if you water down that idea, it's going to make you want to kill yourself even more. Again, stay honest. And that's the end of the message, I guess, and end of the video. See ya. And I'll talk to you later when I actually have a fucking album. Alright, bye-bye.